Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. We're still running a day behind on our videos, so I'm gonna wish you a happy belated St. Patrick's Day today. And I am feeling lucky because for a weekday, we had a really good amount of sales. Hope we can keep that lucky momentum going throughout the whole week. And I think it's funny, we're still shipping out St. Patrick's Day stuff, even on St. Patrick's Day. Like this adorable little Anna Lee set of mice with the rainbow and pot of gold. Might have been one of my favorite St. Patrick's ones that we picked up. Super cute. We paid $1. It sold for $18.66. Now we have an item going out to a viewer, and I actually didn't realize it until after I started packing it that this person had sent me a message, and they said they are decorating their baby's nursery and they're using a golf theme. They love watching our TikTok videos and they're going to use this in the room. So thank you, Morgan, for your purchase. I paid $0.25 for it at the bins. You paid $4.21. So I think you got a good deal. It's been hanging around my store for quite some time. Next up is an item I probably wouldn't pick up again, but when you first start reselling, you just kind of go for anything you think is useful. And I thought this was useful. Found this at a yard sale and we paid 50 cents for it. It is a foot pole for like a bathroom door or a kitchen door. Mostly, I would guess commercial. We paid 50 cents. It sold for $6.76, and I'm happy to see stuff like that were early purchases move on. Now, this is a fairly recent pickup. Anytime I see these decorated themed Pyrex bowls, I always check them out. Sometimes I buy them for personal use because we use a lot of this glass Pyrex at home. But this one I decided to sell, and it is marking the 100 years of Disney. I actually think there was a full set of them. I paid 99 cents at the thrift store. It sold for $12.97, but if you find the actual whole set of 3 or 4 bowls, it sells for really good money. Now we have a set of magnets going out, and these are really cool. They're like little plushy magnets that are a boy and girl Cabbage Patch doll, although I don't know that they're licensed. The heads, feet, arms, they're all ceramic, but then the bodies are soft, and I don't know if they were originally magnets or if the magnets were glued on, but I thought they were cool. Paid 50 cents for them. They sold for $13. And I'm happy to be going back to my stack of school cups. I didn't know if these would be a long tail item, but I've already sold now 2 sets since picking these up and listing them only a couple days ago. This is for the school Washington and Lee, I think, and I believe that's in the DC area, somewhere in Northern Virginia. But these are from 1978 and 1980. Looks like one was used as a pen cup, but very cool items. Somebody up in that DC area picked them up. I paid 20 cents, they paid $9.95. Now we have another estate sale item going out, and this time it is a towel, and it's in my kitchen drawer. It's kind of a kitchen item, it's more of a bar item. This is a Tetley Bitters towel, and this kind you would like lay across the bar to keep it dry when you're making drinks. Very cool item. I think Tetley is either British or Irish. Stephanie, you want to help me out with that? I paid $1. It sold for $8.46. Y'all that don't know, Stephanie's a good friend, via TikTok friend, who lives over in the UK and watches all my videos and almost always comments. So I'd like to give her a shout out every now and then. Next up, we have a paperback book, Toilet Training in Less Than a Day. Wow, wouldn't that be a miracle? This is from 1974. It's a paperback book, and it looks like it hasn't been used. We actually found 2 at the same estate sale. Paid 50 cents, it sold for $6.76. So if you're potty training, go pick up the other copy and let me know if it actually works, if you can make it happen in less than a day. Now we have a PVC toy going out, and this one I love. I'd never known there were Pound Puppy ones until I found this one. Super cute little dog's got his bone and his little hat on. I loved Pound Puppies when I was growing up. I paid $0.25, it sold for $5.06. Now, back to my theory that I said in yesterday's video about you sell an item, you're going to sell any multiples of it pretty soon. And that's exactly what happened. We sold one of these green Tupperware pitchers, new old stock, last week, I believe. And now the other one is selling. Pretty emerald green in the light. I wish you could see it better, but I'm not taking the bag off. We paid $0.05 for it at a highway sale. It sold for $8.46. This next item was a recent thrift store pickup. Found a whole giant, like gallon-sized Ziploc bags of Snow White and the Seven Dwarf type items. There were little people, there were those vintage, like full-size Japanese figures, you know, vintage. We paid $3 for the whole bag, so I paid $1 for the little people. That set of 4 sold for $10. Now we have a few personal items going out. The first is a set of Smurf Pez. The person was so cute, they messaged me. They wanted to make sure that they were getting Smurfette in the bag. So you guys can confirm this is 4 different Pez dispensers and Smurfette is included. I paid nothing because it's personal, and they sold for $5.91. And speaking of paying nothing, this is another personal item. We paid something for it at some point, but I don't count personal items as inventory spends because we got our use out of them and now we're passing them on. Better than donating them. It's nice when you can sell your own stuff. This is a Brunswick bowling jersey, and I had 2 of them listed. The first one went pretty quick. This one's been hanging around a little while, but it finally sold for $16.97. Another Anna Lee going out, and it is also St. Patrick's theme. We are looking for a cute little girl mouse in a sweater. This is the one. And she's got a sewing needle in her hand, like she's stitching together a shamrock. I think that's super adorable. I like the ones in the sweaters. They look cozy. Adds to their cuteness. We paid $1. It sold for $12.71. And now we are heading over to our little bin with towels in it, but we are not grabbing a towel. It just happens to be where I kept something big in the back. And look at this lampshade. The ruffles and the ribbon, so granny cottagecore, but guys, there's 2 of them. I found these at the bins and I was like, somebody somewhere wants these. I paid $2 by weight. They sold for $34. And our last item going out, we started with a St. Patrick's Anna Lee, and on St. Patrick's Day we are finishing with one. Hopefully it's not the end of our St. Patrick's doll sales, but the last one today. This cute little girl is with her little Blarney Stone rock. We paid $1 for her and she sold for $12.71. So all in all, we have $10.74 into all of these items, and it was $186.59 in sales, 18 times our money. A great day. I hope you guys had a great St. Patrick's Day. I'm heading out to have tacos, which I guess means I have to have bangers and mash on Cinco de Mayo. We'll see you guys soon with another video of what sold.